There it is.
Welcome back, folks. Before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here. I'm going to check. Okay.
I know we don't do the full intro on these, well aware. But I figured with the Norm homage on the intro, people would appreciate a little bit, a little extra Norm on the week.
Oh, that's quite the gesture, and I appreciate that, KJ.
Yeah, that intro's hitting a little different today. Big ups. Hey, guys.
Welcome to live. David, I thought you were going to be missing in action there for a moment.
It's beer time.
Oh, this is
Wow.
beer.
I am drinking a Yingling.
Oh, look at this.
Wow, be more chuggy.
Very cool.
That's so August 23rd.
He's not here, but I'll go ahead and shout out Paradox Brewery and specifically their Pilsner.
Okay, I respect it. How is Paradox Brewery? I have not tasted their wares.
It's the only IPA that I enjoy, and I'm not an IPA guy, as you probably deduced from that comment. But this is not an IPA, obvi. What I'm doing here is blindly pouring and podcasting, streaming at the same time, and I think I've done okay.
There's a reason they invited you to the Flair competition. I respect that.
Not a big head guy.
What? No head?
You know what happens when
anything
there's no head
about
on your
me.
beer, right, Dave?
What?
It gets all foamy inside your stomach, and that's what makes you gassy. That's why you're supposed to pour it fast. A lot of people don't know that. Look it
I
up.
feel like that's just some beer.
I don't know.
Can we
I don't know.
Can we go ahead and address the elephant in the room? That is the lack of real estate here in my box here.
Some people are saying that this is Dylan getting back at you for dwarfing him on every episode.
Yes, because as everyone knows, I am graphic design is my hobby, and I created this whole layout right here.
It's
so
truly your
yes,
passion.
I did this. Yes.
Yeah, if any of us were like capable of making even the most minor adjustments to the overlays, we would have fixed it. But whatever, I'll endure. We'll figure it out. I think it'll be fixed by the fourth round. But as usual, Thursday nights we've got a lot to get through. So let's just dive into college football. How about that?
I would love to.
I don't even know what I'm reaching for. Like I've got some college football buzzer over here. But
We need a buzzer.
I did realize during the conversation last week about the Big 12's expansion, taking away some AAC teams. My pipe dream included a lot of Midwest or Mountain West teams. There were some Eastern teams that I think make more sense that came up in conversation on The Athletic and a couple other places this week. One, Liberty University. Nobody wants them. GFY, my official statement.
What's
Two,
that mean?
They can go Jerry Falwell themselves.
Go freak yourself.
Number two, UAB would accept that. Shout out to the Blazers because Blazer and whatnot.
Oh, very cool.
Oh,
graphic.
sick.
And then I believe the third was Appalachian State, and I think that would be dope AF because Asheville, from what I've heard, is tight. So, give me Asheville in the AAC. I'm good for that. But with that said, let's just ask the question, David. What are you rocked up for on this college football week?
I would love to say that it's a game, but it's actually not.
Oh,
It
shit.
is actually the St. Louis Ribs that are on my Traeger right now, wrapped
What?
in foil, wrapped tightly in a foil envelope, meat side down in the honey and brown sugar concoction. It's proprietary, but I'll just let you guys know that's what I do. That's free. That's free game. And should be done about here in the next hour or so. And I'm really looking forward to it. So you could say I'm a little rocked up, sir.
I could not be happier that you brought that up. While we are hearing Dylan's rocked up for the week, I'm going to dig something up I sent to the group text and had pulled up. But Dylan, what are you rocked up for?
I'm rocked up for two things right now. Florida, Alabama being one of them.
Okay.
High quality football game early in the season. I will take that. I'm also rocked up to watch a Texas game that I don't have a ton of emotional. My emotions are going to be in check after the first loss. It's a painful one, but my viewing the remainder of the season after that first loss, I tend to care less, and I'm excited for that as a Texas fan. I know that's a very lame one, but it's the truth.
Fair. Real quick, correction of the night already. Apparently, Asheville's like an hour and 45 minutes away from Boone. I stand corrected, but whatever. You win some, you lose some. Still tight.
We've all been there.
It happens. I want to fuck up our screens here for a second because I learned about a trophy this week that your comment, David, brought back to mind. And UAB is on the list because if UAB is in the AAC and we keep Memphis, shout out to big fan of hers, Sarah Cummins, Memphis fan. The Battle of the Bones might have the most dope trophy I've ever seen.
The Randy Travis Bowl.
Did those just come off of Dave Smoker?
Probably not, Dylan. Probably not.
We need the Battle for the Bones to be a real thing like today. That's between UAB and Memphis. So if they're not going to do it, I think we've got to bring it back or overtake that for meat smokers only. So
that is objectively a very, very cool trophy.
Agreed. Never seen it before.
Is it better or worse than, say, an iron skillet?
No, nothing beats the iron skillet. Iron skillet makes you think of two things: Perkins and Perkins waitresses. So give me the iron skillet.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Tigre. Good luck on your recovery. My computer's about to start screaming at me, so let me fix that. To answer the question, what I've been just so hyped and just rocked up for, and I was fully prepared and had an answer to this question, has got to be Georgia, South Carolina. South Carolina probably should have lost to ECU last week. Georgia undeniably looks really, really good. I think that's going to be a great test for inter-SEC competition. I'm just not copying Bama, Florida, but I also want to see Auburn, Penn State. So those are probably the top two. Real quick, other games that we didn't touch on Monday. Iowa State last week. Iowa pretty handily won that game. Their defense continues to be for real. And the running game was strong. So shout out to the Hawkeyes, question mark.
Tough seeing Matt Campbell. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, you're just out there charging up and down the sideline like a maniac. And, 1 year you're like the next best thing. And then the next year, Matt Rule's getting the NFL job, and you're losing. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just tough. I like Ames. I like Iowa State. I think I picked them. I probably did pick them as they lost.
No, I did.
Like 2 good games last week.
Yeah, you said you hated Matt Campbell, and then you picked Iowa State.
Look, man, I don't let it affect my gambling problem.
Okay,
I can separate those things.
Man, I'm looking forward to this next segment we have on here that I was not prepared for. Down Bad of the Week. Hopefully this is about people other than us, football teams who are struggling and not our personal fandom. So KJ, why don't you lead the way on that one?
I would say if you were to give the award away for last week, Texas would have been spared. I think it would have gone to the Florida State kid who proposed, but we discussed that at length. So if there's anyone out there to redeem themselves this week, I think, we could say Sark is in that spot. If he loses this week or struggles at all, playing Rice?
Yeah, I mean, I hope Klein isn't listening, but this is a good time to catch Rice if you're Sark. Just saying. They just need a team they can just kind of bully around to get a little swagger back. But yeah, they need to absolutely dominate the game.
I've let the talking heads in the DFW sports landscape talk me into Sark making a bad decision, Coach, regarding just swapping out QBs already. And now I'm kind of questioning that. It seems a little soon to get rid to dump Card. I know he wasn't great, but it's just I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I guess you can always go back and forth. Florida's running 2 quarterbacks pretty much, aren't they?
They are.
But I don't know, man. I'm looking to be hyperly critical of the Longhorns as I like to needle Dylan, but I'm not real sure.
Don't needle me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the dude was, we talked about it on Monday, but he missed some pretty bad throws.
Just
in that
perfect
game.
for
Some
a
kinda,
quarterback.
we'll see. I don't know.
Sneaky good team of the week for me. I would say Tulane has a chance to. They're playing Ole Miss. Ole Miss looked great against Louisville. I'm sure Ole Miss will win the game and handily, but for some reason, I believe in Willie Fritz. I believe in I can't remember Michael Quinn. Name something close there, but I think Tulane's going to be a tough beat for anybody. So playing potentially 2 SEC teams, if you want to count Ohio or Oklahoma this year. Give me Tulane on the week. Any other good teams this week y'all are got on the radar for college before we kick it over to NFL?
Baylor, Kansas is going to be I know this isn't even on here, but Baylor, Kansas is going to maybe be a sneaky good game. I don't think everybody shits on Kansas, rightfully so. But I'm not sold on Baylor, even though they took it to our friends at Texas Southern. I think that might be a competitive game, and it would be really bad. You don't want to be the Big 12 team that loses to Kansas, as many teams have learned, or a few teams, Texas being one of them.
Very few teams have learned that, Texas being one of them.
So, yeah, I don't know. That'll be something I'll be watching. I think hopefully it's on ESPN Plus, and it's a really good quality broadcast like they've been doing.
Well, it's all local games just piped in, so who knows what the connection is. That's what I've told at least.
No, that is correct, but it's still your platform. You should take ownership and make it not the worst thing ever. Make it not worse than the Allen high school football game. That's all I'm saying.
I guess that's what my misconception is. Here in Texas, our local broadcasts, high school games, are of ESPN quality most of the time. So when I hear local broadcasts, I think local access television, terrible broadcasts. I'm usually ESPN Plus isn't that bad. We get Ted Emmerich on SMU calls, and that dude's calling events in the Olympics. I guess I just was thinking that local broadcast might be a step down.
Let me say this too. Speaking of high school, game of the week, you got DeSoto Eagles, Duncanville Panthers. KJ, your DeSoto Eagles, meaning you live in DeSoto currently. You didn't go to high school there, but
correct.
Just something to watch out for. It's going to be a good game. Couple highly ranked area teams.
Home of LaVisca Chenault and probably more importantly, Von Miller out of DeSoto.
The great Von Miller. Yes,
all right. NFL this week. It is quite incredible how things have changed from last Thursday, our conversation on Monday. Cowboys fans, and not to make this all Cowboys centric, but Cowboys fans basically giving the Dolphins clap of we lost, but we looked good. We got a lot to build on. How do y'all feel today?
About the boys, you're saying?
Correct. Now that you're without
not
Marcus
great
for 5 to 6 weeks,
without Randy Gregory,
so
Michael basically
Gallup for 4 weeks, and then Lyle Collins. Weeks.
I think the offense is going to be. Wait, Zach Martin's back, right? I think the offense is going to be okay, but there's going to be zero, and I mean zero pass rush, which is trouble.
Yeah.
I felt really good about this game. I don't know 3 days ago. Then I learned that Randy Gregory and more importantly, DeMarcus Lawrence would be out, and now I think it might be kind of an ugly game. I hate to say that.
Gotta agree. Can I also just say the amount of knee-jerk reactions, hey, your coach is going to go from losing the first game of the year to quitting after one game is absolutely absurd.
I don't know, man. Dude, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
But KJ, does he kind of have a reputation as being the guy who will I'm asking a question. I'm not saying this is the case. As a guy who would like, I don't know, flip or like say one thing and do another.
Larry Brown would probably be the most notable for doing that type of thing. But even Larry Brown would win somewhere and then leave, and then allegations show up the year after. With Urban Meyer, he's been 4 places and he's won everywhere. I'm not saying he's going to win in Jacksonville, except for they will be in like the Super Bowl or AFC title game within the next 3 years. Book it. He'll be around for a couple of years. Definitely not one game. So
it's absolutely ridiculous that the rumors start swirling like literally after week 1. But as a Jags fan, are you concerned about this being like an ongoing narrative throughout his tenure in Jacksonville? I mean, like who's gonna target Urban Meyer next?
I think that it should be more of a conversation about, I don't know, Mike McCarthy or other coaches that like have been around for a couple of years and won nothing than a coach who's been there for 1 game. Like, I don't know. The narrative.
How bad were the Falcons? Was it Bobby Petrino who just like ghosted the Falcons?
True. That was like 6 weeks. That's probably a good comparison, but
dude, people got to chill.
Didn't he do that twice? Didn't he do that to his college team too?
I think the neck
to Arkansas.
I think he got run out of there after wrecking his motorcycle with a staffer on the back of it.
And it was the Falcons that he just walked out on.
Correct.
He Irish goodbye.
And Italian goodbye. Petrino, I believe, is of Eastern Italian descent.
Fair enough.
No, and don't forget about your boy Tuberville. Never.
Oh, okay. College at Tech.
Yeah. It wasn't mid-season, I don't think, but it was still. I still like. It's still an unbelievable story that he was at dinner with recruits and he just got up and left. He got the message and just walked out. And then now he's a senator.
Senator with like a voice of reason or some shit. Games I'm looking forward to for NFL that aren't in our dip picks. I definitely want a lot of attention on I was going to say, I guess I could say Vegas. The Raiders Steelers game, I think, is one to watch. There's a lot of games that led to a lot of week 1 overreactions that we're going to probably see come back down to earth. Like, are we going to see 5 sacks and 5 touchdowns or 5 sacks from Chandler Jones against Minnesota? Probably not. Are you going to see Jameis throw 5 touchdown passes and less than 150 yards? Probably not. And I don't know what happens in LA with the Cowboys and Chargers. I ain't got a good feeling about it. Also, I don't think that you're going to see the Ravens look as rough as they did, but we got some time.
It's not going well in Frisco, home of the Cowboys, when Leon Lett, D-line coach, pulls his quad and will not be traveling with the team. Pulls his quad in practice. I don't know what they're doing.
I think he like tore his quad or something.
Tore it.
Surgery. Like it's pretty bad. Yeah.
That's what our guy at the gym did. That's what Stanley did. Shout out to Stanley. We haven't mentioned him in a while, but he tore his quad.
AKA the most jacked guy in Texas, Stanley at Lifetime.
Just an absolute unit.
He doesn't know that I work from home. He doesn't know how jacked I am. Anyways,
this guy's a specimen, KJ.
Wow. Okay.
With that said, I think that's probably a pretty appropriate time to transition and intro. So for the first time ever, I think we'll do this a lot more, assuming this person doesn't completely ruin the track record for everyone else. As we all know, with our dip picks, we will have a rotating 4th seat. I would like that seat to be filled, if not with somebody from the Wash Media atmosphere, but then from the audience or other special guests. So for our week 1 guest picker, without further ado, let me switch this over and introduce Gab, who is one of our moderators in the Discord, all around good person, and probably the person who had the most problem with us talking about Dan Mullen's wife mouth kissing all of his players last year.
Problem.
Florida fan. Gab, what's up?
How you guys doing? Thank you so much for having me.
How
Hi.
are you?
Nothing
Thanks for
truly
joining
makes
us.
me happier than being able to contribute to a potential flash mob for Dylan or some Joker makeup. So I'm I'm ready to
Yes.
make these picks.
See, I think that's the other part I need to make clear is if the fourth seat here, the guest picker, if their record's better than one of ours or two of ours or all of ours, we're all losers. It's not just last place in this. So as it stands right now, I guess before I give the records, I should find the button to intro this segment, huh? No, we're just not even going to get it. I don't even know.
It's a segment that needs no introduction.
There we go. How about this one?
Let's get back to that gobble.
You like that one, huh?
There it is.
I can't even find my dip picks one. So, anyways, the records from last week. Let's start there.
Ugly. This is a bad week. Everybody, we are not experts. I just have to say that.
Week 1, you have nothing to go on. You're shooting from the hip.
It's not as
what's
bad
happening.
as I think I would say. The records going into week 2. Let's just say off the top, David, not a pretty week for you. 2-5 overall. That includes your big boy stack is what saved you points.
Not good, Dave.
You're tied.
You know what?
Place at 4.
You know what? It's not tragic if you die doing what you love. And I love picking games. Man. I love it. I'm the original gambling guy, content guy.
David and I, or Dylan and I, both tied at 3-4 on the week, with neither of us hitting our big boy stacks last week. So we were tied with 3 points. And Will Freeze got 1 game right for football and 1 game right for football. So he hit his big boy stack. He went 2-5 on the week. However, since we go by the point system, that's completely made up. He's tied for the lead, or seat 4 is tied for the lead at 4 points. So if the league ended today, Dylan and KJ, we'd have some paying up to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gab, what are your game credentials? What are your sports credentials?
Great question, Dave. I don't seem to have any besides riding the coattails of the Florida Gators and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Went to UF and now live in Tampa. So
that counts.
Is there for me?
Is there a Super Bowl ring anywhere in your household?
Do you need to see it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course we need to see it.
Hang on.
Kidding?
I got you. We got it. Hang on. We got the spinny box.
Wait, can you put it on?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
It spins?
It spins. The fucking box spins. Look at this shit.
Man, I have nothing near that cool in my house.
You've got muscle milk.
There we go.
Look at that.
World
my
champs.
God.
Okay.
To be clear, that did not come from a gumball machine, correct?
It did not come from me or anything that I did besides drink at the Super Bowl. So
I think sitting on Spreewells, man.
Thank my boyfriend Zach for that one.
Right.
That's cooler than anything I could go get. I've got like a boxing glove signed by like Triple G. I don't know. That's cool.
Got a Cotton Bowl football that was signed by Danny Amendola, and then a lot of walk-ons. So yeah.
I got a bunch of dinosaur toys. Dinosaur toys that my son plays with. That's about it.
That's mega cute though.
It is. It's the cutest thing.
Well, before we get into the games, Gab, do you have any questions on any of our picks? I will say I did grab these lines, Tuesday? So if things have moved since then, oh well, we're going to go with the lines that I picked at that point, all from DraftKings. Before we do dip picks, anything to say about DraftKings, David?
You know what? I'm glad you asked, KJ. I've got a lot. In fact, let me just say this. I want you guys to fire up your tailgate because the NFL is back. Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And with the NFL returning week 2, actually, DraftKings is giving new customers $200 in free bets instantly when you bet $100 or more in any football game. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Place a bet of $1 or more on any week 2 game. Receive $200 in free bets instantly. Use promo code WASH to receive $200 in free bets. All you got to do is place a $1 bet on any football game. And that's it. Got to be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and a $1 wager required. 1 per customer. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Again, that's promo code WASHED. DraftKings Sportsbook.
If you're not in the Discord or haven't seen it on Twitter, in DraftKings right now, there's an official Too Much Dip League. We do have a contest starting tonight. Free entry. Let's get everybody acclimated to pick their DraftKings lineup for the Giants and Washington game tonight. But Sunday, we'll get rolling with a couple contests each Sunday. So go into DraftKings, search Too Much Dip. We'll do that each week following the show and on Sundays. So with all that said, found my button.
Oh,
Seriously? So gross.
Dip picks. First off the top, let's pick tonight's game. Washington is at home, favored by 3. I can't tell you. Is it Taylor Heineke? I don't even know.
That's close enough.
David,
Close
who you
enough.
have?
So hot, want to touch the Heineke. I've done that before, and I apologize. It's not good. In fact, it's bad. Give me the team from Washington, the future Red Hogs. The Giants are just ass, man. They are not good. Is Saquon help? What's Saquon's deal? Is he even in the game?
It's kind of healthy.
questionable.
Don't like that. Don't like that. Feel like the team from Washington has quite the D line. So give me them.
Okay, Dylan.
I want to bring attention to Juliet's comment over here. It says DraftKings is cool, but I heard they're calling Gab the draft queen. Very
Okay.
great comment there from Juliet. I think one of your fans in the comments there. I'm picking New York +3. I don't know. I don't have much faith in Heineke or whatever his name may or may not be.
It's Heineke.
Nor do I, but I've got all the faith in the world in Chase Young. Give me Washington. Gab, you're up.
I'm also going to roll with Washington. I think it's raining right now too. So Saquon not being able to play, I don't trust the Giants. Let's go Washington -3.
Look at that. Good
3
pick.
points to anybody who can name the Giants head coach. Cincy at Indiana. Oh, switching over college football, I should say. Cincinnati,
Hard pivot.
number 8, Cincinnati, as at Indiana. Cincinnati is favored by 3.5 on the road. Dylan, who do you have?
I have not watched either of these teams play. The 8th ranked team being favored by 3.5 against Indiana just feels weird. I don't know why. I'm taking Indiana +3.5.
Give me Desmond Ritter. Until proven otherwise, I think the guy is the truth. So give me Cincinnati. Gabby. I don't know why I called you Gabby there, but whatever.
That's okay. I think I'm going to go
Friends here.
Cincinnati too. Indiana's lost to Iowa last week. I don't trust them. I used to live in Indiana, and I know the Hoosiers. They have way too much confidence for absolutely no reason. So Cincinnati has yet to play a quality opponent, but I think they're going to roll in there and take the dub.
There we go. David, who you have?
I'm riding with Gab. I like Cincinnati. There's never been a Cincinnati team that hasn't just been loaded with dogs, just straight dogs.
Fair. We're going to skip this one, come back to it as our last college football game. The Juliet Special, Auburn at Penn State. Number 22, Auburn, going to college. What the hell is that city called? I almost called it college.
State College.
State College. Damn. Penn State, ranked number 10. Favored by 6 at home. I will go with James Franklin as his last deed before he takes the USC job. Give me Penn State.
Ooh.
Gab, you're up.
I'm going to go Auburn. I think that Auburn covers, but it might come down to like a last-minute field goal, something crazy. Penn State wins by 3, but Auburn covers. I just don't necessarily trust Bo Nix to stay composed, but I think James Franklin's had a couple of distractions this week, so they're going to come out. It's going to be probably, I don't know,
Wow,
bad
well
game.
said.
David,
I'm riding with Kirk Franklin and Penn State. Go with God. Let's rock. No, Auburn's pretty young. It's a young team. They're going to be really good, but they're gonna lose. Penn State's defense is sick. I did watch that game, that terrible Week 1 game. I guess it was terrible, but they're going to win. Give me Penn State.
Dylan,
I'm rocking with KJ here. I also have. Oh, I guess Dave picked Penn State as well. I'm on Penn State. Nittany Lions. Let's go.
all right. We also have, I didn't realize I put a late night game on here too. Arizona State at BYU, number 14, Arizona State at number 23, BYU. BYU is getting 3.5 at home. Arizona State's favorite on the road. Gab, you want to start us off there?
Sure. I like BYU plus 3.5. Arizona State, pretty sure they're like still rolling on some recruiting violations. They have like 5 staff members that are actually able to travel. So I think BYU at home, they had a pretty good win. I guess last week I wasn't able to see it, but good win against Utah. So let's roll Cougars.
David?
That's a great point. They did roll over Charlie Brewer in the Utah team. Jaden Daniels played his worst game of his career in Salt Lake. A lot of people don't really factor that in when they're making their picks. I like what I'm seeing out of this BYU team. Not a lot was expected out of them, and nobody had them beating Utah. I certainly didn't. I'm riding with BYU.
Okay. That seems about as polished as your gymnastics takes. I respect it. Dylan, who do you have?
Is what's his name still coaching in Arizona State?
Herm Edwards, yes.
Herm Edwards. He is? Okay.
Big Herm.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade you. I'm gonna fade you too and ride with Herm.
Okay.
Herm's riding with me.
I too will be riding with Herm Edwards and the spirit of Mr. Tillman. Give me Arizona State. Last but not least, college football game of the week, I would say. Number 1, Alabama is going to Florida, to the Swamp. Alabama's favored by a whole 15.5 on the road. David, start us off here.
This is
Don't
tough.
do this to me, David.
This is tough because on one hand you have Alabama and you have their coach. He's doing bits now. He's discovering the jokes, the lines of humor that the kids are into.
What jokes are they?
D's nuts. Have you heard of this? It's pretty funny, actually. I'll explain it to you when we're done. On the other hand, you got Florida. I think Florida keeps it close, and by close I mean like hovering around a 2-score game. I'm going to take Florida.
You are such a pandering asshole.
Who am I pandering to?
I don't know.
Me.
Give me Florida.
Dylan, who do you have?
Oh, did you guys see that Nick Saban eats 2 Little Debbie cakes every morning or else he gets cranky? Wild. With his cup of coffee, of course. Don't like that. I do think Florida keeps it close. I don't think Florida wins. Gab, I'm sorry to say. It's going to be a 10, 13-point game, though, and for that reason, I am taking the Gators in Gainesville with Z.
Because of the likelihood of rain in Gainesville, 60%, it looks like. Going to be a shitty day, ugly day. Makes me think a lot of that LSU game with the shoe, all of that mess.
Don't do this to me.
Not to bring up old memories, but there's nothing better than a wet kiss with the coach's wife. I think that will inspire the fans for victory. Give me Florida, not to be victorious, but to keep it closer than 15.5.
Okay. Listen, as a Gator fan, I know pain. I just understand pain deep down in my soul. As a student since 2010, we've had pretty much the worst luck that you could possibly have on the football field. And a lot of it was our own fault, aka throwing a shoe at an LSU player. We've had Urban Meyer leaving for health issues. We've had losing to Georgia Southern at home. We've had McElwain riding a fucking dead shark. We've had losing to Tennessee for the first time in 15 years and losing to Kentucky for the first time in 31 years. I've seen it. I know the pain. And Mullen is still insisting on starting Emory Jones despite having the second coming of Jesus Christ, aka Tim Tebow and Anthony Richardson here on our campus. And Mullen is 0-7 against Bama as a head coach. I think they probably came pretty close with Dak, and that obviously we came close last year with Kyle Trask. I think we cover. I got to go Florida. We cover.
Wow.
You have to pick
I don't know if we're
Florida.
going to win.
We knew you were picking Florida.
Obviously.
Hey, KJ.
Obviously.
That's good. Very measured.
Hey,
I like
KJ,
that.
you put mine down wrong, by the way. I picked UF as well.
Oh.
So for a sweep, just to be clear, all 4 of us picked Florida.
Let's fucking go.
Hey, and as
Oh,
let me
come
point
on.
out Gus Brown's comment over here. It says people forget Lil Debbie thick AF, which I think is worth mentioning. So
So KJ,
Thank-
you were telling
thank you,
me that
Gus.
Nick Saban's eating cake, and then so he doesn't get cranky because it usually
Is that his cake
I-
for breakfast? Is what you're saying?
no, it's not what I'm
different
saying.
cake,
Never mind.
Dave. Different
Sorry, I
kind of
was
cake.
just
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know. I have not read that story. You didn't share the article with the group text, so I'll just look like an idiot up here. Jeez.
Bengals at Bears. Switching over to the NFL. Bengals are favored on the road, Soldier Field, by 2.5. Essentially a toss-up, with the advantage to the road team. Who wants to start us off here? Gab, start us off with the NFL.
Sure. Gator great. Evan McPherson coming in late last week with the kick. So I think I'm going to go Bengals. We got the Andy Dalton revenge game, but I love Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase apparently is going to go break some records. So let's roll Bengals -2.5.
I have a feeling Matt Nagy hears some boos, and I'm hearing that the Bears are favored. Did I write that down wrong? I'll double check. Let me switch that over. Either way, I'm taking the Bears at home. I have a feeling Justin Fields will get a little bit more play. I'll double check the line so that we're not screwing up our picks here. Bears are favored by 2.5. Thank you so much, Megan. I screwed that up.
Okay, sorry. Bengals +2.5.
Correct. So you're taking Bengals either way.
Yes.
Gotcha. I will take the Bears still. David or Dylan.
I'll ride with the Bears situation is just too awkward. I don't see it. I don't see it panning out yet. They got to just figure that out. Dalton didn't look terrible last week. Let me just say he is quite the game manager. But give me the Bengals.
Okay.
I think Dalton plays just well enough to keep the quarterback controversy alive and well in Chicago. I think they lose the game. I got Bengals +2.5. They win by 3 to 5 ish. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got Bengals +2.5. Yeah,
Correct. And I'm sure this line has changed throughout the week, so I should probably double check it before we run with it, because we have Cowboys on the road getting 3.5 points against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I don't even need many reasons. Give me the Chargers at home. David?
Chargers at home for me too.
Yeah, Chargers.
Dak looked really good last week, but defense is banged up. Chargers defense is also banged up, but I think it's going to be pretty high scoring. But I think the Chargers take it away at home.
Bill and Dave.
I'll take it. Yeah, for reasons aforementioned, I will also take the Chargers -3. Unfortunately, I would love to be wrong.
David?
Well, that's no fun. Damn, I had this whole
Take the
thing
boys.
in my head. Well, look, here's the deal. I thought they were going to get stomped last week. I really did, and they didn't. They held their own. They covered. And then this week I came in and I was thinking, man, they're gonna actually do this, and then that usually would have worked the opposite way. So I'm gonna ride with the boys just to make it interesting. This is gonna be it's gonna be a big Zeke game. Remember, I said it. You know he came into this season, KJ, a lot thinner, in better shape. He hasn't been at this weight since college. I don't know if you know that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Molly will do that. Last game of the NFL slate before Big Boy Stacks. Chiefs at Ravens. Chiefs are favored by 3.5 on the road. This is the Sunday night football game, which, if I was a professional and prepared, I would have hit the button, but go on. Who wants to pick this one?
Oh, Sunday night.
I'll start.
Is that
I
what you
think
wanted?
the Ravens are a little shook after losing that 14-point lead to Oakland, right? Monday Night Football. I think Chiefs win this handily. They win by 7 to 10. I got Chiefs -3.5.
The amount of injuries on the Ravens list, it's comical. I think that John Harbaugh is an extremely good coach. I think Lamar Jackson's worth it all, but it's still the Chiefs, and it ain't happening this week. So give me the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs too. I think Ravens are too injured. Lamar, I don't think he's even beaten Mahomes yet, so Chiefs are rolling.
So y'all all took the Chiefs, huh? Well, if it were any other team, I'd be like, man, this is going to be a great bounce back game for the Ravens, but I think they're going to get their D slammed in the door. Give me the Chiefs.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right.
Last but not least, big boy stacks. For all who are unaware, 3 points awarded to this game specifically. Can be any game of any sport for the most part, as long as we can get the odds from DraftKings. So who wants to start?
I'll start. Last week, I bet with my heart. I picked Texas to cover. It's not funny, Gab. It's not.
It's funny. I'm sorry. It's funny.
And we all know how that
SEC.
went. We all know how that went. I'm doing the exact opposite this week. I'm taking OU minus 22.5 over Nebraska. I've watched Nebraska play. They are terrible. OU got their swagger back last week, beating up on a very inferior opponent. I think they win by 30 plus.
Mama, there goes that man.
We haven't heard that in a while. I'll go with that one. I'll follow you up there. A team that's gone through so much this week and then named a coach who I didn't think would be their interim. USC is favored, I want to say, by 8 against Washington State on the road. And as you all know, no one goes into Pullman and just walks out with a victory by 8 points or more. Give me Washington State plus 8 at home. David?
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick. How about Michigan State getting 6.5 against Miami?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I love it. I love it. I've wanted Miami to be great for so long, and we haven't seen it. So you're getting Michigan State's plus 7, you said?
I believe it was plus 6.5.
I
Okay.
just wasn't listening.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to know a little bit more about it, so far this season, sophomore quarterback Peyton Thorne has taken excellent care of the football for Michigan State's offense. He has yet to throw an interception to go with his 5 touchdowns. So
We were all thinking.
Sorry.
I'm just glad you said it.
thank you.
Fair. Gab, wrap it up for us. Who do you have as your big boy stack?
I was going to go Bucks, but minus 12.5 is a little tough. So I'm going to go Bills minus 3 at Miami. I think after last week's loss, they come in guns blazing. So I like the Bills.
Oh, hating on the rest of the state.
I heard Cole Beasley got in the booth and dropped some mixtape. So
Yeah, he's
I'm feeling good about it.
away game for fans. Anyhow, Gab, we can't thank you enough for being here, joining us. We
Thank
will
you, guys.
Thanks,
update
Gab.
everyone
Appreciate
with
you.
picks at the end of the week, or I guess on Monday, I should say. With that said, let's get the heck out of here because the game is about to start.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.